Hey you guys, it's your girl T, and I want to go ahead and shout out Devin Brown. Devin Brown sent me this story, and once again it's coming from my first favorite state, Ratchet ass Florida. So what's going on now in Florida, you ask? What's going on is I guess Florida decided to stop taking a break over the past few weeks, and now they're back in the news with some major fuckery. So what happened is that basically we have this 20-year-old female. She's a mother of a 3-year-old little boy. Her name is Chantel Hayes, and her 3-year-old son is Kais Coach. And basically she's been in a relationship with a 28-year-old man. His name is Corey Gordon. They've been dating for about a year. And she was saying that she was this was her first day at her new job, and she wanted her boyfriend to watch her baby. She left the baby home with the boyfriend. The boyfriend supposedly took the baby to his sister's house, and there little Kais basically soiled himself. He had peed on the couch, and the boyfriend beat him, and he called the mom at work and was like, I'm tired of your son, peeing on himself and this and that. And so then she's like, okay, well, I'm sorry, just make sure you come get me at 5 o'clock. So she claims that basically the boyfriend comes to come pick her up. She looks at her baby and she's kind of surprised, like, dang, why is he so quiet? Why is his face, why does he have bruises on his face? And he's like, just get in the car. And she said she looked at her boyfriend, he had tears in his eyes. And she's like, what's wrong? And she noticed that her baby wasn't moving, wasn't saying anything. And then she finally went to touch the baby, and the baby was cold. He was already like, rigor mortis. His arm was really stiff. So she starts screaming and saying, take me to the hospital right now. The boyfriend ends up driving her to the hospital, drops her off, and he just speeds off. This whole situation is such a mess. The mom gets to the hospital, and of course the baby's already pronounced dead. Go ahead and check out this news clip, and I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary.
And also this noon, police arresting a man who they say killed his girlfriend's 3-year-old son. According to court records, the man confessed to police. 7's Sheldon Fox has more on the toddler tragedy from Sunrise.
It's one of those stories that's hard to look at, hard to listen to, hard to fathom. We just left the family. They are still as devastated as ever over the loss of their 3-year-old child.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle all right.
Little Kais Coach won't celebrate another Christmas, won't get to experience kindergarten or a 4th birthday. That's because Kais was taken in a most violent way. Now a mother and grandmother are broken.
That was my baby!
The cops call this man a child killer, and he's locked up now after an all-out Broward Sheriff's Office mission to find him. He is Corey Gordon. He's charged with first-degree murder in the death of his girlfriend's son, little Kais, a 3-year-old.
I trusted him with my soul, my life.
The boy's mother, Chantel Hay, reacts to the news of Gordon's arrest. She discovered her son's severe injuries after her first day at her new Boca Raton job Monday. Gordon picked her up from work with the battered boy inside the car. Hysterical and worried, she says she demanded Gordon take them to the hospital. Police say Gordon dropped them off, then took off. By then, it was too late. Doctors at the hospital pronounced Kais dead. The child's grandmother reacted Tuesday.
He died with pain. He don't deserve this.
Gordon would be lucky to spend the rest of his life in jail and not having to suffer the way that this child suffered.
Why? Why? I just want to know why. I need to know why.
He is Corey Gordon. He's charged with first-degree murder in the death of his girlfriend's son, little Kais, a 3-year-old.
I look back, my baby face had bruises on it. He had 2 bruises right here. His lip was busted, bruises all over his stomach. I jumped in the back seat of the car, and I held my baby. He was in the car seat, and he was just lifeless.
That's the boy's mother, Chantel Hay, upon seeing her child after her first day at her new job Monday. Her boyfriend, Gordon, picked her up from work with the battered boy in the car. Hysterical and worried, she says she demanded Gordon take them to the hospital. Police say Gordon dropped them off, then took off. By then, it was too late. Doctors at the hospital pronounced Kais dead.
He died with pain. He don't deserve this.
The Broward County Medical Examiner ruled the death a homicide.
There is no reason in the world that anybody should beat up a baby like that.
All right, so you guys just checked out the news clip. So this whole situation is just really, really disturbing. But what's even more disturbing is that as of today, there's an update to this story. Now they caught Corey Gordon, but now Corey Gordon is talking to his lawyer, and he's basically saying that he did not kill this little boy, that he's trying to cover up for the mom, that when he got the little boy was already beaten, he was lethargic, he was going through a lot of things, and this woman has also already had a child abuse case on her that was supposedly dismissed. I want you guys to watch this updated news report, and I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary.
For the man accused and arrested in the death of a 3-year-old little boy is speaking out tonight. He's breaking news out of Broward County. The lawyer for the man accused and arrested in the death of a 3-year-old little boy is speaking out tonight. He's saying his client is not guilty of murder.
NBC6 reporter Marissa Bagg is live in Lauderhill with more. Marissa?
Jackie and Trina, a new twist in this horrendous case of deadly child abuse. I'll show you the suspect's picture again. 28-year-old Corey Gordon. He is claiming that his girlfriend and the mother of 3-year-old Kais Coach is actually the one responsible for the child's death. Gordon's lawyer says that the child was already bruised up when Gordon picked up the 3-year-old to babysit him on Monday while the mother, Chantel Hay, went to work. Now, he alleges that Hay told Gordon she, quote, messed up and beat the child with an object. Gordon allegedly admitted to slapping the child in the face on Monday, but not severely.
When the mother gave the child to my client, while going up the stairs, the child was falling down. This child was already seriously injured. Inside my client's house, the child was vomiting. So we believe this child was suffering some internal bleeding.
Corey Gordon is in jail charged with murder. The Department of Children and Families has investigated Hay before, but she was cleared. And now Gordon's lawyer is telling us that Hay is actually pregnant with Gordon's child. So far, Hay has not been charged in the 3-year-old's death. Of course, this continues to be a developing story, and we will stay on it for you. Reporting live in Lauderhill, Marissa Bagg, NBC6, South Florida.
All right, so you guys just checked out the news clip. So there's a lot of things that disturb me with this story. The main thing that disturbs me with this story is I'm so tired of this whole broken record. I'm tired of this whole synopsis where a girl has a child, the child is under a certain age, and she already has a new man. You know what I'm saying? Her son is only 3 years old. Where is the son's father? She's already moved on to another person. She's only been with this man a year, but yet and still she feels like this man is qualified to basically babysit her son on his own. Another thing that bothers me is that after a year being with this man, she's also pregnant. So you're already struggling with this one child. You can barely find daycare and somebody to watch your one child, but now you're pregnant again by this so-called abuser. I'm not buying this story whatsoever. I feel like there's more to this story. I'm not saying that the boyfriend didn't hurt this child, but I definitely feel like the mother is also in cahoots and that she knew what was going on. This man did not just beat up this child for the first time yesterday or a few days ago. This man had either been beaten on this child and this woman knew it and she sat by complacent, or she also took part in beating this boy. But this couldn't have just happened within one day where he just flips out and decides to just beat on this child. I feel like the mother definitely knew what was going on. Another thing that bothers me with the situation is the fact that they're saying that she's already had a child, she's already had child protective services in her business before from possible abuse. That raises some red flags to me. Another thing that bothers me is if when her boyfriend came to get her and she's seen the baby with bruises on his face, a real parent is going to touch their child right away. You're not going to see bruises on your baby's face and your baby not moving or making eye contact and you just get in the car and you just wonder what's going on. You're going to reach over and touch your child, and at that point in time she would have seen that he was deceased or whatever. The whole story just sounds really, really crazy. And the biggest red flag to me is the fact that this happened and within 24 hours this broad is on the news crying, screaming, carrying on. It's like your child just died. Take some time to mourn. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to jump on the news and explain yourself. I feel like she's putting on a show for the news. And this is not the only news station that she's talked to. She's talked to several news stations. Several news reporters have reported on her. They've interviewed her. She's cried. She's screamed. She's carried on. And I'm like, who does all this when your child has not even been dead for 24 hours? The last thing you should want to do is be on the news, screaming and crying for different news stations.
Emotional, but she wanted to speak with us because she wants Corey to turn himself in. So again, this is Corey Gordon. This is the person, the Broward Sheriff.
So I definitely feel like there's some type of cover-up. I think both of them had something to do with this child and abuse. And it's also come out in the report that when they checked the child's body, he had a lot of tears down there around his anus area. They feel like he was sexually abused as well. They don't know if the boyfriend caused it or possibly the mother inserted something into the little boy's rectum. So it seems like this little boy was suffering a lot of abuse. And I think that the police need to really investigate not only the boyfriend, but also the mother. I would not be shocked if she was involved in this as well, because to me, she's just a little bit too hype, too open, and too in the news, you know what I'm saying, talking about this situation as opposed to trying to, you know, come to grips with everything that happened. You know, so the whole situation is just really disturbing. But again, I'm so tired of these stories with females getting with guys who are so desperate to have a man that they'll take anybody just to say they have a man and bring them around their children. Every man is not worthy of being around your child. Every man is not worthy of being a babysitter. You know what I'm saying? If her mother is in the picture, she could have had her mother watch her child. If the child's father's in the picture, she could have took the child to his father's house. You know, it's just sad. And then for her to be pregnant again, it says a lot about her. You know, you don't even know this man like that. You guys have only been together a year. And like I said, I really doubt that this was the first time that he was ever being abusive to her or the child. I feel like he's been abusive, and she either stood by idly watching this or she participated. But for her to be on her second child and you're already struggling with your first, she's not making a lot of smart decisions here. So this whole story is just really, really disturbing. But at the end of the day, we have another dead child who's been killed by the hands of the mother's boyfriend or even possibly the mother. So anyways, let's go ahead and get this discussion popping. I want to know your thoughts. Am I wrong for what I'm thinking? Am I wrong for thinking that she could have something to do with this situation? You know, how do you feel about her jumping on the news in less than 24 hours, talking to different news organizations, spinning the same story, crying as if she's trying to play victim and put all the blame on him before the police can even look at her? I just feel like there's more to this story than meets the eye. So anyways, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this entire ratchet ass story that's once again coming from our first favorite state, ratchet ass Florida. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. All right. Deuces.